Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far, and Happy New Year! Welcome to my first video of 2019. So to kick off the new year, I am going to be starting with a review of the most recent episode of Steven Universe, Together Alone. So this review is probably going to be how I've been doing most of my reviews recently, pretty minimally edited, just my thoughts going over the episode, nothing too fancy, but with the holidays finally over, I'm probably going to be able to have more time for theory videos, so expect to see a lot more theory videos coming out in the next couple weeks. But with that, let's jump into this review of Together Alone. So to kick off this episode, we have a dream sequence, and we have what appears to be Pink Pearl. Now, this adds a whole layer to the who is White Pearl, who is Pink Pearl, what's going on with White Pearl, because she looks exactly like Pink Pearl does in this dream sequence, but she has that cracked, shattered eye and is with White Diamond. She's lost all of her color. So this adds a whole new layer to who belongs to who, because as we have stated many times before, the pearl's gem placement matches their diamonds. So our pearl, the pearl that we know, in theory would not originally belong to Pink Diamond. It seemed that Pink Diamond had White Diamond's pearl at some point. So a lot of theorizable content there, but we get this dream sequence, and so I don't know if the Crewniverse was like making fun of themselves, because when Yellow comes in and she has like the stretchy long neck, I feel that's the Crewniverse just kind of laughing at themselves with Yellow Diamond's design, because I know when Yellow Diamond was first shown, she got a lot of memes and jokes about her long neck. So I mean, if this is the Crewniverse just kind of laughing at themselves for it, good on them. I'm glad to see that they can kind of laugh at themselves and make fun of themselves for it. But we get this cut of White Diamond, and then Steven starts vomiting up Rose Quartz's hair, which is really interesting because it's not Pink Diamond's hair, it's Rose Quartz's. And then Steven wakes up, so lot to dissect there, so that dream sequence in itself could be a theory, but from here we get Steven waking up from his dream, and immediately Pearl is there, and Pearl asks if Steven is okay, and we cut to the pebbles, and the pebbles were making the room look more like Steven's house, from Earth. And we also get some confirmation here that they are called the Pebbles, and that Pearl does know what they are. One interesting thing to point out is that when they shapeshift their hands and arms into tools to build stuff, their gems do not glow, so they're not like gems, because whenever gems shapeshift, their gem glows. So they're related somehow to gems. They are created what seems to be from diamonds. So very interesting stuff. But even in just that one line and just that one scene that they were in this whole episode, we learned a lot about the Pebbles. So cut to the gang in the throne room, and you have all 4 thrones for all the diamonds. Pink Diamond is the smallest, Yellow and Blue are in the side and are the middle. White Diamond is at the top and is the biggest, and White Diamond is not in this throne room with Yellow and Blue. But in this scene, we get Steven trying to convince Yellow and Blue to throw a ball, and Yellow makes a comment like, oh, we haven't had a ball in so long, but then Blue makes, the point of, we haven't had Pink Diamond in 6,000 years, so that would make sense. But they both agree that this will just be a good kind of welcoming, like a homecoming of sorts, plus it will start Era 3. So they agree to it and let their pearls help Steven and the gang kind of plan for this ball. And as you would expect, Steven wants to have this big party that, you would have on Earth, and then Yellow and Blue Pearl are like, no, this is not how it goes. Everyone stays where they belong. Your subjects are going to be doing the dancing for you. You're not going to be dancing at all. You're just going to be sitting in this chair, which leads to Steven asking them what they'd like to do for fun. And Yellow Pearl is very dismissive about it, saying that whatever her diamond wants is what she wants. Her feelings are irrelevant, but Blue Diamond says that she likes to draw, and she actually pulls up the drawings that she has from the court hearings. And we knew this about Blue Pearl ever since we saw the episode The Trial. So even though gems are made to follow a certain purpose, to follow a certain status quo, likes and interests are still inside the gem. They're still there. That's something that Homeworld cannot remove when creating gems. But this leads to Blue Diamond entering and kind of asking, hey, what's going on here? Why aren't you getting ready? And Steven says, well, if all I'm doing is sitting in a chair, then I'm pretty much as ready as I will ever be. But this leads to some conflict between Blue and Steven, because Blue does not want Steven to bring, his group, the crystal gems, with him, and even separates them, and goes on to say that this ball is for the diamonds to present themselves to White in their best possible selves, just like how gems present their diamonds as their best possible selves. As Steven makes the case to Blue, saying this is my court, essentially. They're very inspiring. They will inspire White, and they will help make a case for Earth and healing all the corrupted gems. Blue agrees, but she has some terms, so Amethyst has to wear limb enhancers to meet her height requirement, and then Garnet has to unfuse into just Ruby and Sapphire. And we get a line here when Steven refers to Garnet by her name. Blue asks, does this one call herself a Garnet? And from this line and what she says, because she says, are we going to have her enter with the Demantoids, the Hessenites, and the Pyropes? And I did a bit of research on all these gems, and they are actually all considered to be part of the Garnet family. So from this, it would seem that Garnets are not only exclusively just a fusion, it seems that they exist just as a singular gem, which is really interesting because that's something that we haven't seen before. We've only seen the same gems just fuse into a bigger gem of themselves, but we haven't seen a fusion gem like Garnet also exist as just a Garnet without being a fusion. Again, it's not necessarily confirmed, but this line from Blue definitely hints and leans towards that being the case. And something that I noticed in this episode, I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention before, but Garnet has her wedding rings on both hands now, which I think is a nice little touch. And even when they are unfused as Ruby and Sapphire, as we will see a little bit later in this episode, they are still wearing their wedding rings on each of their hands. So, nice little touch there. I like seeing that. But this brings us to the ball, and of course we see a bunch of different gems, and you can kind of tell which gems are Era 2 versus Era 1 just from how alien they look. This is something I brought up in my previous review, but Era 2 seems that it's more alien and getting further from a more humanoid look to gems. But you see that we have some aquamarines, and then you see that we have some kind of pearl-looking gems, and then some that just look like gears and have these very odd faces and shapes. So it's very interesting seeing all the different kinds of gems that are present at this ball. But we get to the introductions of Blue and Yellow Diamond, and then we get to White Diamond, or what is supposed to be White Diamond's entrance. We get Pearl, because each of the pearls introduce their diamond. We cut to White Pearl, and just, it's so unsettling, just this smile that she always has on her face, and just White Diamond's voice coming out of Pearl. Very unsettling, very creepy, but White Pearl announces, or rather White Diamond announces, that she will not be present at this ball, and of course Steven is very upset. Even the aquamarines, if you look in the long shot, they're holding the curtains open, they look upset too. So I just thought that was a funny touch that they added, that the aquamarines were upset about this. So this White Pearl sits in White Diamond's throne and announces that Era 3 has officially started. So with White Diamond absent, of course, Steven is upset about this because the whole point of this ball was to get all the diamonds together to try and make a case for Earth to heal all of the corrupted gems. Connie tries to make Steven feel better, and so we get to Connie convincing Steven to dance, and they accidentally form Stevani. So here we have some parallels between Together Alone and Alone Together, which is obvious just in the titles. And like I brought up in my previous review, the Crewniverse has been doing this a lot, it seems, lately, with these kind of parallel meaning episode titles, like with Reunited and Familiar, and now we have Together Alone. Now, specifically with Alone Together, Alone Together is kind of one of those episodes that I feel that people will look back on and just kind of being one of the key episodes, just one of the episodes that really stood out as a viewer, as a fan of the show. So automatically, by naming this episode Together Alone, you're already going to draw a comparison. Now, if I had to pick between the two, which is the better episode and which is, the one that I consider my favorite between these two, it's going to be Alone Together. That was such a huge episode. This episode felt more as a setup to what is to come, Whereas with Alone Together, that felt like a milestone for both Steven and Connie, and just in terms of the lore of the show with Fusion, that was huge. We definitely learned some stuff in this episode, but not to the extent of Alone Together and just how big that episode was. But I do like the parallel of how in Alone Together, Steven was encouraging Connie to dance, and now here we have Connie encouraging Steven to dance. And also when it comes to the titles with their specific episodes, Alone Together was Steven and Connie fusing into Stevani and feeling alone at this party even though they were together. Now in Together Alone, everyone's there, everyone is, you got Pearl, you got Amethyst, but you have Ruby and Sapphire who are unfused and not Garnet. You have Steven and Connie. Everyone is apart. They're together in a sense as a group, but they feel all alone. Which is why when they all end up fusing together was such a huge moment in this episode of them rebelling, of them standing up for themselves. So I like how the titles played off that, and how just specifically this episode played off of Alone Together, that first fusion of Steven and Connie. So with the fusions, you have Steven and Connie fusing into Stevani, and immediately Ruby and Sapphire fuse into Garnet, say, no, you're gonna have to go through me. And then Pearl immediately, and Pearl, out of anybody knows how serious this is, she lived on Homeworld probably longer than even Sapphire or Ruby, and knows the diamonds much better than any of the other crystal gems, and immediately went to defend Steven and Garnet, grabs Amethyst, form into Opal. And, the Crooniverse giveth Opal and they taketh away just as quickly. I don't know what it is with the Crooniverse. Like, they show Opal and then they take her away so quickly. It's like, why would you even have her fuse? Why would you even have her show up if she's going to be gone in like 5 seconds? Every year it's like Hopeful for Opal, whatever year it is. So now it's Hopeful for Opal 2K19 at this point. But after Opal fuses, there are 2 gems that we saw in the introductions for Yellow and Blue. And they fuse together into a fusion and says, I knew I couldn't be the only one, and then immediately is just struck by Yellow Diamond and are unfused, and then she does that to Opal and Garnet as well, and then throws Stevani into a dark room and tells her to think about what she's done, where the episode ends. Now, originally when this happened, when I first saw the episode, I thought like everyone was just going to start fusing, but it's only this one pair of gems that end up fusing together into this fusion. But I like that it shows gems on Homeworld have also tried fusing, kind of playing off of the whole yellow pearl, blue pearl having interest thing. It's something that's just kind of embedded in gems, even though they're not supposed to do that. Homeworld can't squash that part of a gem, the part of the gem that has individuality and likes and interests and has feelings. So I like that they're showing that in different ways, either through interests or just through fusion, through having relationships with other gems. I really like that. But overall, I enjoy this episode. Again, I mean, when you name an episode Together Alone and you have an episode like Alone Together, it's going to draw those comparisons. So if I'm looking at the two, I think Alone Together is the better episode. But not saying that this was a bad episode or anything like that, but just Alone Together is like one of those top episodes, probably one of my favorite episodes in the entire series. But again, enjoyed Together Alone, learned a lot of stuff. That dream sequence at the beginning was huge, so can't wait to break that down a little bit more. And we also see that we have some gems on Homeworld who are fusing in secret, it seems, so I'm wondering if they're going to build off that a little bit more in upcoming episodes. But very excited to see where the show goes from here. I mean, we're coming to the end of what is season 5, right? I mean, this was episode 26. I think the next episode is 27. I have to double check what the title for that episode is. But yeah, I mean, I think just in the pacing of the show, we're kind of coming down to the wire here of Steven Universe as a series. I think things are going to get pretty serious from here on out. But yeah, enjoy this episode a lot. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you are looking forward to in the show, what you think is going to happen next. Let me know what you guys think of the whole white pearl, pink pearl situation here and what that dream sequence was about, because I would love to hear it. But here's to a new year. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and until next time, guys, take care.